Did you know that truly intelligent people consistently avoid certain behaviors, ones that most people consider completely normal? If you've ever wondered what really sets smart people apart from everyone else, the answer isn't just IQ scores or academic achievements. It lies in the daily habits they consciously choose not to engage in. Stay until the end, because the fifth point on this list will completely change the way you see your own life. And almost everyone does exactly this thing without realizing how much it holds them back. We need to clarify something right from the start. Intelligence doesn't just mean being brilliant in school or being able to solve complex equations. True intelligence shows in how people think, communicate, make decisions, and navigate the world. According to groundbreaking research published in the Journal of Intelligence and Cognitive Psychology, highly intelligent individuals display specific behavioral patterns that clearly distinguish them from the rest of the population. And the surprising thing is, often it's the things they don't do that set them apart. They don't avoid these behaviors because someone told them to, but because their way of thinking naturally leads them away from them. The first point: highly intelligent people never pretend to know something they actually don't know. This is extremely important. Most people, when they can't answer a question, make something up, give a vague, smart-sounding response, or dodge the topic, because saying, "I don't know," feels like admitting weakness. Truly intelligent people do the opposite. They have absolutely no problem saying, "I don't know, I'm not sure," or "I need to look that up first before I can give you an accurate answer." Why? Because they understand that pretending to know something you don't is far more foolish than admitting a gap in knowledge. Their confidence comes not from needing to know everything, but from knowing exactly what they truly know and being honest about what they don't. This intellectual humility is one of the clearest signs of real intelligence, because it shows that truth and accuracy matter more to them than ego or external perception. The second point: highly intelligent people do not engage in pointless arguments and do not try to win every debate. This is crucial because it reveals how intelligence truly works. People who argue about everything, who always need to be right, or who turn every discussion into a competition are not showing intelligence, they are showing insecurity. Truly intelligent people choose their battles extremely carefully. They don't waste energy trying to convince someone who isn't open to new perspectives. They don't feel obligated to correct every false statement. And they don't debate with people who care not about truth but about victory. Why? Because they understand that some conversations are productive and lead to real learning, while others are nothing more than ego battles that produce nothing. They recognize when an exchange is valuable and when it merely drains energy without offering any benefit. When they do engage in discussions, it's because they want to explore ideas, understand perspectives, or reach better conclusions, not to prove they are smarter. And this is where it gets interesting. Here comes the turning point that changes everything. Highly intelligent people never stop learning. But here is the crucial part. They also never behave as if they understand everything just because they've brushed the surface of a topic. Let me explain what that means. In today's world, everyone has access to information. You can watch a YouTube video, read a Wikipedia article, or scroll through social media and feel like you've learned something. Most people do exactly that, and then speak confidently about subjects they barely understand. Highly intelligent people, however, have a completely different relationship with knowledge. They understand the difference between a brief glimpse and real mastery, between knowing something about it and deeply understanding it. They don't watch a physics documentary and then believe they're qualified to discuss physics with physicists. They don't read one article about psychology and think they can diagnose people. They possess what psychologists call epistemic humility, the awareness of how much they do not know, even in areas they are familiar with. They understand that true expertise requires years of study, practice, and experience, and they respect that process deeply. And this makes them lifelong students, always learning, always questioning, always deepening, but never acting as if they've understood it all. The third thing highly intelligent people never do is make decisions solely based on a momentary emotion. And pay attention to the words solely and momentary, because this distinction is essential. Intelligent people are not emotionless robots. They feel deeply, they react emotionally, and they do consider their emotions when making decisions. But one thing they do not do, they do not let temporary emotional states determine important decisions. When they are angry, they don't send an impulsive email, don't make an immediate call, and don't seek conflict. When they are euphoric, they don't commit to something hastily without considering the consequences. When they are sad or discouraged, they don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. They have developed what neuroscientists call emotional regulation, the ability to fully feel emotions without being controlled by them. They create distance between emotion and action. They ask themselves questions like, will I feel the same tomorrow, next week, next month? They understand that emotions provide valuable signals about what matters to them, but these signals must be processed through rational thinking before turning into action. This doesn't make them cold, it makes them wise, because they avoid the regret that almost always follows impulsive decisions made during emotional highs and lows. Before I reveal the fourth point, you need to do something. And behind this lies real psychology. If anything you've heard so far has moved you, if you recognize yourself or people you admire in these patterns, or if you've learned something that changed your perspective on intelligence, then hit like now. And here's why. Intelligence does not mean making others look stupid. It means elevating everyone's thinking. When you support content like this, when you like and comment below which point resonated with you most, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping build a culture that values real intelligence, depth instead of superficiality, wisdom instead of ego. Your engagement helps bring this message to people who need it. To those who may confuse intelligence with arrogance or hide their own intelligence because they think being smart means being a know-it-all. So like, comment, and help build a community that recognizes what true intelligence really looks like. The fourth thing highly intelligent people never do is surround themselves with people who always agree with them or never challenge their thinking. This may sound counterintuitive because most people seek validation, comfort, and agreement. We naturally prefer people who think like us, share our values, and confirm what we already believe. Highly intelligent people, however, actively seek the opposite. They want people around them who respectfully disagree, who point out flaws in their reasoning, who bring perspectives they haven't considered yet. People who question their assumptions and push them to think more deeply. They know that growth doesn't happen in echo chambers. You don't become smarter by engaging only with people who always tell you you're right. You become smarter by engaging with people who force you to defend your ideas, refine your arguments, or even completely change your opinions. Intelligent people don't feel threatened when they're proven wrong. They're actually pleased because it means they've learned something new. They possess what Carol Dweck calls a growth mindset, the belief that intelligence grows through effort and learning, not something fixed that needs to be protected. Therefore, they are very intentional about whom they allow into their lives, not out of snobbery but out of purpose. They seek people who expand their thinking, not people who merely confirm it. And perhaps the most surprising thing highly intelligent people never do. They do not confuse being busy with being productive, nor activity with real progress. In today's hustle culture, many people brag about how busy they are, how many hours they work, how full their calendar is. But highly intelligent people see right through this. They know that busyness does not equal effectiveness. They know that 80 hours of work on the wrong things achieve less than 20 hours on the right things. They prioritize ruthlessly, focus on activities with real impact that move them closer to their meaningful goals, and say no to everything else. even when it seems important to others. They have internalized what Peter Drucker taught. Efficiency means doing things right. Effectiveness means doing the right things. Most people are obsessed with efficiency, but intelligent people are obsessed with effectiveness. That's why they often appear less busy. They have more free time, more room to think, more presence in the moment, because they don't waste energy on activities that don't advance their goals. They understand that rest, reflection, and free time are not weaknesses, but essential components of creativity, problem-solving, and sustainable performance. Here lies the core of what truly defines highly intelligent people. When you combine all these qualities, you realize that they don't care about looking smart. They care about being accurate. They don't want to win arguments. They want to find truth. They don't pretend to know everything. They recognize how much there is still to learn. They don't let emotions control them. They use emotions as information. They don't seek yes men. They seek growth. And they don't confuse constant activity with progress. They focus on what truly matters. This entire combination creates people who are not only intellectually strong, but also emotionally mature, socially aware, and truly effective in what they do. And now comes the secret that ties it all together: true intelligence.